Hi guys, it's Kiarko here, back with another speed build. Today we're building a plant mom's apartment. I feel like I actually haven't built an apartment in a very long time, so this was a nice fun revisit to apartments. I don't know why I haven't built one in a long time, I guess I wasn't in the mood. But we are doing a plant mom's apartment like I said, so there's gonna be a lot of greenery here, a lot of potted plants, basically kind of like a lush little gem in the middle of a, cityscape is basically the idea I was going for. And I really like how this apartment turns out in the end. I love the aesthetic. It's so it's like modern plant boho. I don't know how to explain it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have any, name ideas for this apartment. You could call evergreen apartments or something like that. But I do like the idea that the person who lives here is like a student or maybe just someone who is like young and upcoming in like the plant industry. I don't know what exactly they would do. Maybe like botany research, maybe like they own a flower shop or something. I'm not quite sure. I didn't do a character build for this one. I almost did, but I ended up not doing one. But let me know what you guys think of who would live here. What kind of name they would have. They'd probably be named something like, I don't know, like Meadow or Fern or something like that. And yeah, let me know what you think of this apartment. So I am not a plant mom. I feel like that should be like a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. I'm not a plant mom at all. I want to be though. Like part of me, I have this like inner desire to take care of plants and be someone who knows how to like grow my own food and stuff like that. But unfortunately I'm not. It's honestly, to be totally honest with you guys, I haven't exactly tried. It's not like I've tried and failed multiple times. I just never took the initial step of buying a plant. I think part of it is just the way I was raised, to be honest, because my mother always tried to own plants, but then she'd always tell me I'm terrible at plants, I always kill them, and then her plants would always die. She couldn't take care of them that well, and I think that implanted in me the idea that I could also not take care of plants. So now I have this plant complex where I'm just super I really want plants, but I also have this insecurity about whether or not I'm gonna kill them or not. So I'm in this weird plant limbo in my life now, which is totally ridiculous, but whatever. For this actual build, we are starting out on this balcony area because I thought this would be a pretty defining spot of the apartment. It's the location in the apartment that has the most plants out of any other, room, which I thought made the most sense, right? Because it's outside, so the plants get a lot of light. And also I feel like the person who owns this apartment, who lives here with all these plants, she would probably like to spend a lot of her time outside anyways because she's such a plant nature person. So I thought it'd be nice to have her have this little reading nook in the corner there with that really big cool chair. So she could curl up there by her plants and, read and I don't know, pet her plants, cuddle with them. I don't know what plant moms do. Then she could water them and just kind of spend outside, or time outside on her little deck. What's it called? A balcony. Yeah. I've never actually had a balcony. I feel like they seem so nice, just a little private outdoor space. It's up off the street. I feel I don't know. I'm really romanticizing balconies right now. But it seems like a nice place to chill, I think. But as you can see, we're just kind of finishing up putting in all these plants. She has a little work table over here. The biggest challenge, I must say, of this build was a challenge that I bring up a lot, which is finding plants that all have the same shade of green, which I know is so I'm super uptight about color palette. You guys know me. If you've listened to any video on this channel, you know that I'm really insane about color. I can't stand when things aren't in my palette. It literally triggers a part of my brain that goes into emergency mode. We have to delete that object, because it's not in my palette. And that's a struggle when it comes to doing plants because they all have slightly different tints of green in them, and sometimes you get plants that are too blue green or too gray or too whatever. So that's always been my struggle with doing plants, indoor plants, outdoor plants, any plants at all. So for this particular build, which is supposed to be a plant mom build, it definitely caused a few problems. But I feel like the balcony turned out looking absolutely great. It's one of my favorite spots in this apartment, but let me know what you guys think, if I'm just like too uptight and I need to let go of this, or if you agree with me and like plants need to be the same shade. I'm on that team, but that's just because I'm a little bit, you know, weird about color. Anyways, moving on to the inside. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this aesthetic, I said boho earlier, but that's not really correct. It's more like modern, soft, like cute aesthetic, which I feel like is definitely like a possible aesthetic for plant mom, you know, because I feel like in past videos, whenever I've done any sort of like plant nature-y aesthetic, I've always gone like specifically to the boho kind of route, but I feel like that's not really fair of me, you know, because I feel like a lot of people who like plants and own plants like have a lot of different aesthetics. It's not just like the boho plant life aesthetic. So I want to do something a little bit different here by having this like very modern, sleek, clean apartment that still has a lot of plants and lush greenery and just is a very nice vibe. I really like this apartment how it turns out. I was actually surprised by how much I liked it. So I actually like would live here in real life. That being said, this apartment is kind of massive. Like if you thought about like if this actually existed like in New York City, for example, it'd probably be like, I don't know, like $3,000 to $5,000 a month, man. Rent there is freaking crazy. Like I don't live there, but like I'm aware of that place and I'm aware of the rent there, and it's just so, it's insane. I can't believe it. So whenever I see like big apartments like this now, I'm always like, oh, that's so beautiful. Then I'm like, if this is supposed to be in New York, like this, I could not afford living here at all. So that kind of kills my vibe sometimes when I think about it. But it's still a very, very lovely apartment. That being said, like you know, with the whole like big apartment thing, I'm not quite sure I would like really need that big of apartment. I'm kind of a small space kind of person. Like I'm like, I don't like cramped spaces, but I don't know if I need like a super like large expansive place. Like I'm personally probably never someone who's gonna like own a big house somewhere. Maybe it's like a designer, like a cool like designed house, but not like a house somewhere in the suburbs. I don't really need all that land. I don't really need, it's just not my vibe. So even big apartments like this still like turn me off a little bit, because it's like, wow, so much space to clean. You have so much time to walk back and forth just from your kitchen. Maybe I'm just too lazy, but I could use a little bit smaller of a space, at least for now at this point in my life. We'll see as we go forward. Anyway, so as you can see, we're getting the kitchen done here. We're bringing in a couple plants. I didn't want to go too crazy with the plants on the inside. I mean, part of that is just because I was limited in the amount of plants I could use because they weren't all in the same, you know, color palette. But part of it was also just because like the outside balcony is her specific like plant location. I figured that there would be a lot less plants inside. Plus I need like sunlight to grow and stuff, so I don't know if she could grow like a lot in here anyways. But that kitchen is absolutely adorable. I love all the pink accents. I love the checkerboard floor. It's just so beautiful. And then right here on the side, we're gonna have this dining room, which I love how it turns out because we have these adorable like lemon fabric seating, and it's just so cute. But right now we're gonna put in a big old rug, and then you can see we have these pink tulips on the table here. Did you know, I don't know any specific details about this story I'm about to tell you, but I'm gonna like vaguely tell you. Apparently tulips at like one point in time in a specific country that I do not remember, maybe the Netherlands, I'm not quite sure, there was like a weird like tulip craze where they became like super expensive very quickly just because of like hype, and then like the price immediately crashed, and then they just became like normal flowers again. And it was called like the tulip I don't know what it was called, just search up like tulip money crisis Netherlands, I don't know. But I always thought that was an interesting story about how like the price of flowers like shot up as like a luxury item for no reason historically. If any of you know anything about that, which I feel like one of you probably will, you know, let me know any more details, because that's such an interesting story to me. Anyways, you can see we finished up that dining room, which has those lovely lemon fabric seats. And then over here, this is our living room, but we actually also have like this connecting office space. And that's just because the living room was like so freaking big that I had so much space to do, you know, other things. So I just decided to stick the office in the living room. Which I feel like makes a lot of sense. I always felt like my problem in my real life was like having my workspace, like my computer, my desktop, it's in my bedroom. And I do that out of necessity because I don't have another place to put it. But like if okay, I'm such a hypocrite because now I'm saying that I do need more space. But I feel like it's probably better to not have your workspace in your bedroom because it makes me feel like I'm more inclined to to not work because my bedroom's also where I like chill out or, watch TV or just not work. So sometimes it's hard to motivate myself, because I'm not in an environment where I usually would do work. Or vice versa, where sometimes I have trouble sleeping because I'm in the room where I usually work, So it kind of causes problems when you have conflict of what we call programming in the design world. I sound so pretentious saying that, but that's what it's called. It's like programming. It's like what you do in certain spaces, right? So if you have your workspace the same place where you're supposed to do sleeping, that's a conflict, right? And that can cause problems in your everyday like routine and your behavior. So just like a small suggestion to you guys, try to do your work in locations that aren't where you would do not work, right? Don't do your work in your bed where you sleep, because that'll disrupt your sleeping and it will disrupt how productive and motivated you are to work. Or maybe not. I mean, it's different for everyone, but that's what I have found personally. So that's just like my little interior design suggestion, is just to rearrange your programming so everything has like its own space, Here we are in the living room, and we're just obviously putting in some plants because this is a plant mom's house. We have some plant-themed pillows here. This seems like such a cozy apartment. I would love to chill here with the pink brick. Oh my goodness, this would be so iconic. And then that picture frame on the wall, it is actually technically just a picture frame, like in the game as like a piece of custom content. But I kind of imagine that it could be like one of those picture frame TVs that you guys know I love, because like I can't stand the look of like real TVs that are just like big black ugly boxes and all the wires and cords. I don't know. I'm a fan of picture frame TVs because I think it's just a nice, sleek way to do entertainment. I've also seen someone on TikTok, they had a picture frame TV and then they put it on an easel, so it was like a framed piece of art on an easel, and I always thought that was really, really cool. So that might be something I actually try in the future, easel art TV. Anyways, we're putting in some more plants because like this person cannot get enough plants. A little bit of a storage section over here. We're gonna put in some books and just like little details and stuff like that. And then we're gonna move on to the bedroom real quick, which ends up looking so beautiful, so cozy. It makes me want to take a nap. Makes me want to be a plant mom, but unfortunately I'm not. Putting in our bed, lovely pink sheets. As you can see, like with the color palette I went for, we have this like pink neutral aesthetic with just like touches of green throughout for the plants. And that was very intentional because I felt like the green color was super intense, so it needed a very soft base to go on top of. And green and pink is surprisingly like a really nice combo. It was a super popular color combination in the early 2000s. If any of you guys were alive during that time, or if you remember. I always remember like I had a bright green dresser in my room, and I wore like pink and glitter, and like there was just so much green and pink everywhere, It was a very interesting time for fashion and design, the early 2000s. Very weird. But it's coming back in style. Like Y2K is coming back, which I find very fascinating. And I'm very excited because it reminds me a lot of my childhood. Anyway, so as you can see, we have like a little vanity area. We have some plants in that room. We're gonna quickly finish up the bathroom, and then we're almost about done with this build. I love this shower curtain, you guys. Like, oh, it's so stunning, Like something about like pink flowers or like pink cherry blossoms or anything like pink and flowery, it just makes me so happy. I don't know what that is. It just makes me so happy. I don't know. And then we're putting in a little towel, little details, and then we're gonna put in a soap holder, I guess. And then in the end of the hallway here, just so that we have something, in this hallway, we're just gonna put in a little bit of a dresser, a mirror, and obviously another little plant. Really quickly on our entryway, we're just gonna put a little coat hanger, and then we are about done with this build. So please let me know what you guys think of it. Of course, let me know if you have any future build ideas, build requests. I love getting build requests from you guys, so please let me know. And of course, if you have any challenges, any, story ideas, any character ideas, anything at all, let me know. You can let me know down below. You can let me know in the Discord, which will also be linked down below in the description. And please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. It would really mean a lot to me. We just hit 1,000 here at Kyarko, and I'm just like, blown away, very happy, trying to give you guys really cool builds, as cool as I can make them. But again, if you guys have your own ideas, let me know, because I will build things that you tell me to build, because that's all I can do is build. Anyways, you guys, it is Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend coming up. I'm just gonna be working like I always do. Just got work to do, but I've been having a good week so far. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.